Your voice is breaking, sir.
Yes, sir.
No clarity, sir.
I can't hear you, sir.
No clarity, sir. Not audible, sir.
So P, we know what are the terms that we are knowing till now in this. The things that we should know. Sun is at focus, one thing. Earth is revolving in elliptical orbit, or any other planet is revolving in elliptical orbit. Equation of if we know that is better only x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to
That is equals to 1.
1. That equation we should know. Major axis, what is major axis and what we represent it by A. Minor axis, same 2B, and we represent the semi minor axis as B. And also E is coming out to be equal to cos phi. Where what is cos phi? Cos phi is that angle between
Equals to cos.
the major axis at the point at the minor axis connected to the focus. Point at the minor axis connected to the focus. These two lines, angle between these two, that is equal to cos phi, and that is also equal to the E. E we call as, I think I did not say what E we call as eccentricity of ellipse. E will be 0 for circle. We can think circle also as a kind of ellipse only. It can be treated as ellipse only. Eccentricity of circle will be just 0. What about eccentricity for ellipse, which is not circle? If it is circle, let us include circle also within it. So for ellipse, we can say like 0 to 1, but when it becomes 0, then it becomes a circle. So if I have such kind of ellipse, and I have such kind of ellipse, that is, and second one will have more value of eccentricity. As it starts approaching 1, then it starts becoming more and more elliptical, more and more stretched. Stretching will become more for the ellipse if E is closer to 1. And when it becomes exactly equal to 1 or greater than 1, then it becomes parabola. And in this case, it becomes hyperbola. Hyperbola and parabola have different equations, but with E, we can represent those also. Okay, we can represent them all in terms of E. Next, we have law of, I think, let me pass it. Okay. Here I will take law of orbits. Sorry, again,
Yes, no, sir.
not same thing. Law of areas. In law of areas, one, I think in orbit, again, one thing I should mention, which I forgot to mention, that also is important. We are discussing Sun and Earth system. Let us say there are two comparable masses. For example, binary star. Binary star means one is also star, other is also star, and one star is revolving around another star. That is also possible. Star 1, star 2, one is revolving around the other. In that case, what happens? What kind of orbit do they follow? Then they follow this kind of orbit. So both are elliptical in that case, and they will be moving around the common center of mass. One will be moving around center of mass, and the other one will also be moving around the common center of mass. And both of these will be elliptical. So something like this may be two elliptical orbits. This is a center of mass about which these are moving. So both will be, which they are following. The focus will coincide. Focus will coincide. One focus will coincide, and that one focus which is coinciding, that will be the we can say the center mass of the orbit. Center mass of the mass. These two stars. It will be that. So when one star is here, other will be here. One is here, other is here. Okay, so one is moving in its own orbit, and the other, other is not here. Other is in different orbit. One is, yes, right only. That is in different only. Sun 1, so star 1, star 2. Then it will happen like this. Then what will be regarded as what will be regarded as semi-major axis here? Then we will say like this: each will have its own semi-major axis. One has semi-major axis A1, other has semi-major axis A2. But the relative distance between these when they are farthest, that we can call as A1 plus A2, that is A relative, we can say. That will be A relative. So it will be like, what is the relative distance? That also will be important for us in finding the time period, etc. We will come to that. So there, but mostly in the case of Earth, if we are moving around Sun, or in case of satellites moving around Earth, mass of Earth is so large as compared to the satellite that the mass of satellite can be Earth can be assumed to be completely at rest. And when the satellite are moving around Earth, they will also be following elliptical orbit around the Earth. And elliptical orbit also means that sometimes it can become circle also when E becomes 0. So mostly most cases will be in which one will be fixed because the mass of one will be much larger as compared to the mass of other body. But when mass of bodies are comparable, then both will be moving. Law of areas. In law of areas, we can just say one thing here, that the area swept by d theta angle. Okay. Area swept by the planet will be equal in equal intervals of time. That is the law of areas. Means areas dA swept per unit time will be equal. Now, why does it happen? Newton gave its reason, and when it will not happen, that also Newton explained when it will not be true. So it will be true in the cases when mass of the planet is constant. In fact, the orbit it is moving is elliptical orbit. That is also when the masses are remaining constant. Otherwise, orbit will not remain elliptical, obviously. Okay. Why the condition of mass should be constant? First of all, let's find out what it means. Area, this dA by dt is constant. What does it mean? dA by dt is constant, then okay, wait. I think I should go in a different way. I should explain why Newton said that the mass has to be constant, and then I will explain why dA by dt is also constant in some cases, but not always. Notice the force acting on the planet in different positions. This is same planet only. There are not multiple planets. One planet when it comes from here to here. Initial position, final after some time in dt time. Force is always passing through sun or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If the force is always passing through sun, then the torque about the sun will be 0. Torque about the sun will be 0. Okay. If torque acting about the sun is 0, then angular momentum about sun will be conserved. Angular momentum about the sun will be conserved. If angular momentum is constant, as torque is 0, which implies angular momentum dl by dt 0 of the planet, about which point? About this point where the focus is there, where the sun is there, about the sun, torque about sun is 0. Similar thing will be valid when in place of sun, if I keep Earth, and in place of planet, I keep satellite moving around the Earth. Then also same analysis. dl by dt 0. If dl by dt is 0, then L becomes constant. If L becomes constant, then what is the formula for angular momentum? I think I can write in terms of velocity. I can write What will be that? In terms of velocity, it will become v perpendicular. Let us say v perpendicular, which is 90 degree to the line joining planet and the sun. Component I'm taking in perpendicular direction. Then I can write m into v perpendicular into the distance r is constant. But if that is constant, then I can also write v perpendicular as r into omega. Therefore, I can write m into r square omega is equal to constant. Or I can say m into r square into d theta by dt is equal to constant. Constant, whatever this is constant only. I can write L as that constant. L is constant. L is constant. L is the constant here, right? But we know that this thing I can further replace by multiplying by half into r square into d theta. I will take like this, divided by, or maybe d theta by dt. And that is coming out to be 2 I have to multiply also. 2m into dA by dt is equal to that constant. And that constant is L, angular momentum. Then what is the areal velocity? Area, why it is dA by dt? Because notice here, area of this small triangular part, this triangular shaded part has what area? Let us find it out. If I have a triangle like this with a very small base, then this part of area I can neglect, extra part, because it is very, so there will be nothing removed actually, everything will be included, I can say, because it is very, very small part. Okay, so there will be nothing removed.
Okay, sir.
It is R, it is also nearly R only, and we can say the triangle area formula is, triangular area formula will become half into base into height.
R into R d theta.
R d theta, yes, half into R d theta, that will be dA. And don't worry about this extra part, because there is no extra part actually. Why I am saying there is no extra part? Let us say this extra part is something, maybe I can calculate that also, and let us say it is delta A. And this remaining area is A. So delta A by A will be the error committed by me. But I can, if delta A, if limit delta A tends to 0, if I make delta A tending to 0, then error committed by me will be 0. No error will be committed, and it will be exact
Yes,
value. So it is exact only because we are making it very small. Okay, delta is tending to be 0 as compared to the remaining area. Fine. Therefore, we get dA by dt. dA by dt is equal to L by 2m. So can we say that dA by dt will be constant? Yes, as long as m is constant and angular momentum will be constant, because of this reason that the torque is as long as there is no drag force acting on it. If there is some air, maybe the planet is moving in some cosmic dust. What is meaning of cosmic dust? Means some scattered particles are there in space, let us say. Maybe some scattered clouds, some scattered particles are there, and now and then they are striking this planet. As a result, these particles, when they are collected by the planet, two things will happen at the same time. One thing, mass will change slightly. Another thing will also happen, that when those particles will combine with it, then the angular momentum of single m may not be conserved, but including those particles plus this m, that total will be conserved. So then angular momentum of the single particle will change. That will change. We can say there will be external torque acting on it because of the collision with the cosmic dust particles. If there is some cosmic dust in space, some scattered particles are there, whatever that those scattered particles may be, if those are colliding with it, then they will change, they will apply some torque, because now the force will not be just acting this side, some impulsive forces will also be acting, little tiny impulsive forces, and those will be gradually changing its path. So, and angular momentum will also be changed, and m will also be changed. As a result, dA by dt will not be constant. So dA by dt is constant only under the conditions where there is no cosmic dust, and actually it is not there also, where there are no such particles. Now and then if one or two particles strike also, those will not create difference. For example, meteorites keep striking the earth, but those are very tiny and those strike very rarely. Those will not be creating much impact, right? So therefore angular momentum will be constant, mass will be constant only, if this planet is made up of ice, and when it comes close to the sun, then it evaporates. Some part of it gets evaporated, and it goes farther away. Again, it turns into ice. Again, it comes close to the sun. Then every time, in every cycle, what it will be doing? In every cycle, it will be losing some mass. And if in every cycle it is losing some mass, then definitely the orbit will keep on changing in every cycle. It will not be remaining elliptical. It will be remaining elliptical, but means it will change from one ellipse to another ellipse. So it will be some kind of spiraling ellipse, you can say. And L will be changing in that case. M will be changing in that case. Mass will be changing in that case. So in that case, areal velocity may be changing from as the mass changes. These are exceptional cases, but yes, in normal circumstances, this law of areas will be valid only. So Newton explained that the law of area is valid because angular momentum is constant. So it is just, we can say, it is coincidence only because angular momentum is constant, and mass is also constant. But the law of area will not be. One more thing I would like to say, that law of area is valid even if the path is not elliptical. That is one interesting thing here. We should be knowing it. If I have some sun is here, or any planet is here, and some particle is coming from far away distance, and let us say it is going in a parabolic path, or it is going in a hyperbolic path, or it is going in a parabolic path around it. Whatever path it follows, there are actually three kinds of paths in general which can be followed by particles moving under gravitational force. How many paths can be followed? Three kinds of paths. Right now we are discussing one path only. We are discussing one path among those three, and one path that we are discussing is elliptical path. But there are two other kinds of paths also possible. In fact, three other kind of paths. One is straight line path. If it is just falling along to the center of Earth, then it will be straight line path. This is also one possibility. Another possibility, that it will be moving in some parabolic path, but this will not be closed. Orbit will not be closed. And it can be hyperbolic path also. In that also, orbit will not be closed. It will be open orbit only. It will not be closed, and this finally particle will go again to infinity. Such orbits are also possible, but for that we need to provide larger energy, and total mechanical energy of the system should be, if it is greater than 0, then the path followed will become hyperbolic. If mechanical energy is greater than 0, I will tell you the reasons why, but I am just briefly introducing all these things right now. If mechanical energy is 0, then it becomes parabolic. If mechanical energy is negative, overall mechanical energy, including kinetic energy plus potential energy, if it comes out to be negative, then the path of orbit is bonded orbit. We call it as bonded orbit, and in that bonded orbit, it will remain elliptical only, or circular. Elliptical or circular means it is part of ellipse only. We can say it is also one special case of ellipse. Circular. This it will remain. So hyperbolic, parabolic, elliptical, circular, straight line, these all possibilities are there. But in all these possibilities, if the mass is constant, angular momentum will also be constant. And in all these possibilities, it does not have to be elliptical orbit, but then also this areal law of areas will remain valid. Means areal velocity will still remain constant. Even if law of orbit fails, it may not be moving in a elliptical orbit. It may be moving in straight line path, or it may be moving in parabolic path, or it may be moving in hyperbolic path. But in all those cases also, the law of areas will still remain valid. If M is constant, then it will remain valid, because L will automatically be constant if there are no other extra forces acting. If only forces due to one sun and there is no other thing in space, then this law will be valid. Next comes our law of what is the other law? Other law is law of time periods. Other law is law of time period. Law of time periods. Law of time period, we will find out time using this, and it says that time period, square of time period is proportional to
R cube.
R cube, correct. But actually for elliptical orbit, there is no radius. For that case, it becomes A cube, elliptical orbits, because then it will be semi-major axis. Means whatever role is played by radius in circular orbit, that role is being played by semi-major axis only in elliptical orbit. Also, t square will be proportional to, we can say, a relatives cube. What is a relative now? Where it comes from? A relative means sometimes it may happen that one may be moving in A1 in ellipse of A1 semi-major axis, and other may be moving in ellipse of semi-major axis A2. But both are moving about the center of mass, two masses, M1 and M2. Then relative A will become A1 plus A2. That is A relative. Then it will be proportional to that. A relative is equal to A1 plus A2. Same way for R also. Sometimes they may be moving in circular orbits, but each may have its own circular orbit around the common center of mass. One circular orbit for one and the other circular orbit for the other. If that happens, then again R will become here R1 plus R2. Okay, that will be R. So generally it is given this way only because we don't consider that much in depth. So we directly simply say t square is directly proportional to R cube. But what R means, we should know. It means the relative distance between maximum distance between the masses. Relative maximum distance between the masses, that will be this. That will be a relative also. That will be same thing only. If we say think in that way, it is the relative maximum distance between the masses. Is it right? Wait a second. Am I saying it right or not? I think right only. Yes, right only. A1 plus A2. That will be right only. Now, how to prove it? That proof I will give you. Before this proof, I need few things. I need to know what is the mechanical energy of body moving in elliptical orbit. That thing I need, and I need to know that I think that will be enough. If I know the mechanical energy, then from mechanical energy I will be getting. Okay. Let me give you the mechanical energy formula. I will derive it later on. Right now I'm giving you. It is simple. At least for circular orbits, it is simple. We know for the circular orbits what will be the mechanical energy. Let us derive for circular orbits, and then I will say that same way we can get for the elliptical orbits. But I will prove for elliptical also. But I will prove after some time, not now. For circular orbits, it is simple. Okay, this is something at the center, which is sun or the earth, and if it is earth, then this will be satellites moving on the earth. Okay, and the law of orbit is law of time period is obtainable easily by comparing centrifugal force. What is the centrifugal force acting here? Outwards, and what is the force inwards? Just equate this. M into omega square, because it is circular orbit, so I can say simply R. And which kind of circular orbit it is? It is that circular orbit where the other body is just at rest nearly. Because our body is very large in size. So M omega square R. What is inward force? Inward is capital M, and it is small m. Capital M is larger, so it is G capital M small m by R square is equal to M into omega square R. So we are getting omega square is coming out to be, but time period is inversely proportional to omega. So T square will then become proportional to R cube. Simple result. Very fast we are able to find it out. In fact, we can find out the formula also. What is the formula? Formula is do the calculation once. Omega, what is omega coming out to be?
2 pi r4 pi by 2 by root over m into
gm by r cube, right?
Yes, sir.
Gm by r cube. This will be
2 pi by this one, sir.
For satellite revolving around Earth. For satellite revolving around Earth, I can just write it as GR square upon R cube.
Yes, sir.
Because G into capital M can be written as M will become mass
GS
over-
into R square, sir. GM by R
So G
square.
at the surface into R square, and G surface we know that is 9.8. So R we know 6,400 kilometers, means we can find out the exact value anytime whenever it is required to find out.
Time expression is 2 pi into root over R cube by GM. sir.
Time period will become 2 pi root of, then
Cube
this
by
2 pi by
GM.
omega, 2 pi by omega, and if you want to write in terms of, okay, here first I will write for sun. For sun it is 2 pi root of R cube divided by G into capital M. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
So 2
Yes,
pi
yes.
R cube upon G into M. Now, one thing that is to be, I am telling you directly again without giving the proof right now. I will give you proofs, but we have to wait for some time. I will give you the proof for that also. Without telling the proof, I am telling you here one thing, that for how to write the formula for cases when both masses are comparable and they are actually revolving around each other, then I have to write M1 plus M2 here, divided by R will also become total radius R1, effective relative distance, that is R1 plus R2 whole cube. It becomes like this. Interesting it is. It becomes this. But now somebody may ask me, what happens if it becomes elliptical orbit? Then as you know, in elliptical orbit, the role of whatever role radius plays in circular orbit, same role this plays in elliptical orbit. So I have to write Gm1 plus M2 if it is elliptical orbit upon A1 plus A2 cube. A1 and A2 are the individual semi-major axes of each ellipse. Both are moving in elliptical orbits. So relative semi-major axis A1 plus A2 total effective distance we know, then we can find directly. M1 plus M2 is the total mass. It does not depend only on one mass. Actually, same thing happens for small objects also moving around the bigger objects. But in that case, if I take mass of Earth plus mass of satellite plus the mass of Earth, it is nearly mass of Earth only. Doesn't even make a difference. In fact, the satellite is also created by the material made up of something from the Earth only. So where does it make a difference? That much mass keeps changing, doesn't make a difference. We can take this G into mass of Earth only, right?
We can agree.
So therefore, now we know in detail. Actually, we don't know it, but we understand what are the formulae. We know what are the formulae, but we don't understand why these are. We know for circular orbits why these are. That you know, I think. In fact, for this one I can prove easily. Let us prove this one now. When there are two masses and both are comparable, one is here, other is here, and both are moving. Okay, next page. One is here and the other is here, and they are moving around the common center of mass. In some, I think I should have taken circle first. Okay, sorry. This is one circular orbit, and the other one is this one. Two circular orbits are there, and which is heavier in this? Which has more mass? You can tell me by looking at the diagram. Which is more? M2 or M1? M2 will be more because center of mass is
more, sir.
always
Center of mass is towards M2, sir.
always closer to the smaller mass, larger mass. Center mass
Larger
is closer
mass.
to the
Yes,
larger.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, if omega will be same for both, I think that you understand, because this will always be in the same straight line.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Omega will be same only. Omega. What is the centrifugal force acting on M1? Centrifugal force acting on M1 is M1 omega square into radius of 1, that is R1. That is R1, and the other one has radius R2. But this will be equal to, this will be
G
also
M1
equal
M2
to,
by R square, sir.
this will be equal to the G M1 M2 by G M1 M2 by total R square, that is R1 plus R2,
R1
total R
plus
square.
R2.
But this is also equal to, at the same time, equal to
M2 omega square R2, sir.
omega
Omega
square
square R2. Yes, sir.
Whenever we have such equations, I have told you several times, whenever we have such case, M1A1 equal to M2A2, then I can write M1, whenever M1A1 is equal to M2A2, we can write
equals
as
to mu in
A relative.
To A relative, sir. Yes, sir.
We can do that. So here also I'm going to do that now. Then I can write as mu.
Then we can get
Mu is-
omega from that, sir.
Mu is M1 M2 upon M1
1 plus M2 into omega square of R1 plus R2.
omega square of R1 plus R2, that is R. That is equal to G M1 M2 by R square. Then we can write
Omega is equals to
so omega is equal to M1 M2 cancelled.
root over G into M1 plus M2
plus M2 divided by R cube. That only we
under
said.
roots.
Then I can say effectively it is G into net mass of both upon R also total R. So it is that R cube, sorry. R cube. Then time period will also be 2 pi root of R cube divided by
GM meter.
M1 plus M2. And R is again, we can write R also as R1 plus R2. Individual radii is R1 and it is R2. So it is R1 plus R2 cube. This is the formula finally for time period effectively. So it was so easy to prove for which orbit?
Circular.
Circular.
circular cell.
But it is complicated for elliptical orbit,
Ellipse.
so I'm not proving it right now directly. But after some theory, I will tell you, you will be able to prove it that also. Not a difficult task. We can do that. Every time, in fact, I prove that one also, right? So now, after this, what was in my mind? Yes. Total mechanical energy was in my mind. That is also very important for us to remember. For circular orbits, at least, I should know what is the total mechanical energy. So total mechanical energy will be, one more thing before that, mechanical energy, I will write angular momentum. Angular momentum for circular orbits again, for circular orbits. And binary star system is, as the name suggests, that it is both are stars. Even if they are not stars, they may be two planets or whatever they may be. But if there are two objects which are comparable in size, we just, in general, I will call it under the heading binary star system. We can say circular orbits. So for circular orbits of binary star system, what is the net angular momentum? Find it out by rate it and you try to find it out. So what is angular momentum? Formula for one, first you take for one and then take for the other and then add these two. In terms of omega, we have to find it out. I can say m1 r1 square omega plus m2 r2 square
Omega.
That also is very interesting now because we can write in a very simplified way. I'm telling you to prove it.
Take omega common.
Again, I will use the reduced mass formula here. M1 R1 into R1 plus M2 R2 into R2
Into R2. Omega common.
into R2 into R2, and that again omega common. What is M1 R1? As you know already.
Mu into U relative, sir.
Yes, mu into R.
Into
R relative. It is R. It is about R, no? So it will be R only. So we can write it as mu into R total. R total means mu into R into
R1.
R1 plus R2 into omega. That is equal to mu into R square into omega. Right?
Yes, sir.
So now,
Sir, sense of rotation clockwise and anti-clockwise.
sense of rotation. It could be anything. It depends on this issue. First of all, what is meaning of anti-clockwise, clockwise? It is at the same time clockwise. It is at the same time anti-clockwise always, depending upon from where we are looking. Anti-clockwise and the clockwise are not the absolute directions. Those are dependent on from where we are looking. One thing from one side appears clockwise, the other side it appears anti-clockwise.
Yes, sir.
But if you are saying means there is no such well specified direction, it could be any direction. And if you want to know exactly how it is happening in case of planets revolving around the sun, I think as far as I remember, I think all planets are revolving, I think in one direction only, except I think one. But I'm not sure about it. I remember something read long back, but I'm not sure about it. Okay. And if you're asking in which direction all planets are revolving, then again, I cannot tell obviously, because what do we even mean? What do we mean that clockwise or anti-clockwise does not make sense when we are looking something outside from this space? It does not make much sense. Anyway, mu into R square omega, that is it. So see, this mu helps us so wonderfully in moment of inertia also, and it gives us. But there's a difference in this and the last case. When I was saying M1A1 and I was saying equal to M2A2, then I was not saying it is M1A1 plus M2A2 is equal to mu into A, not that. Then individually each of these was equal to mu into A. That was the case in that time. But now when I say M1R1 square plus M2R2 square, then it is not individual. It is the total is equal to mu into R square. Understand? That is a difference in this, but it helps us again. But here it is giving us total value. Okay, and there it was giving us individual value. So now we know the net angular momentum. Once we know the net angular momentum, then what next? We can find out from here. After that, net mechanical energy also. Next, I wanted to find out net mechanical energy. You find it out yourself once. Mechanical. I'm again giving you time to find out. By the time, let me write it properly. And we should be remembering these things. This is important. Okay. Before this omega relation, this time period we should know how to derive actually, and if we remember that also is better. And also it can be convertible into A. So where is A term here? These relations, right? Even though I have not proved, but you can remember it. Okay. Mechanical energy of again binary star system. Let us take. So mechanical energy we'll find out by writing individual energies, kinetic energy of 1 plus kinetic energy of 2 plus interaction potential of 1 with 2. That will be the total mechanical energy. What's the kinetic energy of 1? Kinetic energy of 1 we can write in terms of the this
ICM into
half of m1 into r1 square into kinetic energy into omega square plus half of m2 into r2 square into omega square plus potential energy minus g into m1 m2 divided by total distance r. Then as we did before with time, we can do it again. Mu r square into omega square, the total kinetic energy. Now see, again it is giving us total minus g m1 m2 by r. This is E. So what do we get now? We get it as gm1 m2 by r. Omega value, omega we have written that omega we can put here to get the value in terms of independent of omega. What is omega value which we found? Omega we found as root of
G of m1 plus m2 by r1 plus r2.
G m
G of
net by r cube, sir.
m1 plus m2 by r cube.
r cube. If we use that here, then we will be getting mu will be okay. Mu will be multiplied with m1 plus m2. Mu is m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. Then finally we are getting, I think, g m1 m2 divided by
2r.
r and 2 also, and positive, it is positive, minus g m1 m2 by r. Notice one thing here before we proceed further. Notice one thing. Kinetic energy is equal to negative of potential energy divided by
2.
and mechanical energy is equal to potential energy divided by 2. After we find it, I will write it down. G m1 m2 by 2r with minus sign. That will be valid always for circular orbits, even if it is. What is the interesting thing in this? That this relation will be valid even if I assume one is fixed and only other is moving, then also this relation will be valid. Kinetic energy will be minus u by 2 and mechanical energy will be u by 2. Both are written in total kinetic energy also minus u by 2, mechanical energy also u by 2. So if you know u is very easy to find out, minus m1 m2 by r, everybody knows the formula. So by u only,
Yes,
we should remember this relation. In terms of u, we should be able to find out k as well as e, because who will waste time? These few steps we are able to avoid. These steps, it will not take much time for me. How much time it takes? Although nothing, you should know this also. But yes, if we know this, then directly u by 2 minus
We
u by
can
2
use
is
that
k,
formula.
and u by 2 is equal to e. It is very fast in that way. Right? Now we have, this was last law, I think, right? 3 laws we discussed. All these
Yes,
laws
sir.
are over.
Yes, sir, 3 laws are completed.
Satellite energy, sir.
Next, we have what else we have?
You can take satellite energies.
Satellite energy means, what does it mean? Energy which we are taking, that is energy of. See, this is this is satellite energy only. What else we derived here? Energy of system, sometimes we call as the energy of the satellite. It is a total mechanical energy of the satellite in a orbit. It is a total kinetic energy of the satellite in the orbit. It is a total potential energy of the satellite in the orbit. It is that only. So now we can further write it as Wait a second. Total elliptical orbits we can come, I think now. For elliptical orbits we can come now. All I need to do for elliptical orbit also, I need to find out this total mechanical energy. And yes, that I should write here. I should write it here first. What is the total mechanical energy for elliptical orbit? Minus G m1 m2 upon twice of A relative. That is upon twice of A relative. Hello. That is equal to twice of the A, means A is same as A1 plus A2 only. Right? Proof. Let's wait for some time. For the proof, we can do like this. This is one here. And then we have this elliptical orbit, and this is focus, and from here to here some distance r, and let us say velocity is v here when the distance is r, then I can write half of m into v square is the minus g m1 capital M and small m only I will write, maybe capital M, and this is small m, minus g capital M small m by r square, minus g capital M by r, that is the kinetic energy. That is equal to total mechanical energy. That is equal to total mechanical energy. So that is equal to minus g m small m by 2a, but I have to prove it now, so I'm not directly using it. And one more thing, next time onward, means after the proof is done, then you do one thing. This thing will be very, very helpful for you, and you should be learning it. This I recommend every student to learn, because it is very, very useful for us. For example, let us say somebody is asking us this thing. He is giving us that at any instant of time, all other things, all data is given. They have given the same image axis, etc. This is given to us as 2a, but they are asking that when this is at a distance small r, and at that time, what will be the velocity? What will be the speed? Can we find out that speed if that semi-major axis is given to us? Yes, we can find it out easily. We can find out. As long as the semi-major axis is known, we can find it out easily by conservation of mechanical energy. So let me tell you a quick proof of this. How do we do that? We know mechanical energy will be remaining constant. So at any one instant of time, if I say when the particle was here in this space here, where the distance is equal to a into 1 plus e, or it is and the other side it is a into 1 minus e. This side it is this, right? So from here, let us say consider one thing as r1 and other thing as r2. This is r2 distance. Other one, this one is r1 here, and velocities take, this is let us say v1, and that one is let us say v2, and this I will write as m1 mass of small body is small m into angular momentum conservation. What does it tell us? Conservation of angular momentum is m into v1 into r1 is equal to m into v2 into r2. I can do that here because it is 90-degree angle, so it is called sin 90 already. But for this case, I should know the angle. If this angle is known to us as theta, then it will become m into v sin theta. That will be equal to m into v sin theta into r. That is how we apply the conservation of angular momentum. We should know how to apply this, and that will help us a lot. Conservation of mechanical energy. Conservation of mechanical G in 3 points again. Which 3 points? Point number 1, point number 2, and the third point where in general here we want to find headlets. That will become half m1 v1 square minus g m1 m2 by r1, that is equal to half m2 v2 square minus g m1 m2 by r2, and that will also be equal to half m into v square minus g m1 m2 by r. These are the questions which we are having. Okay, now I have to eliminate the velocities, and I will have to get
V.
in terms of A. I want to get answers in terms of A. What I want to get in terms of A, total velocity V. I will have to eliminate V1, V2. I'm assuming V1, V2 is not given. Only thing given to us in this case is the masses. What is given? Let me write it down here. The given things are M, and it is also given M is very, very greater than small m. That is given to us. Other than that,
Equation.
A is given to us. E is also not given to us. E is also not given to us. A is only given to us. And in terms of these two, what R is given. In terms of R, at distance R, we want to find out. Find V at a distance R. Question is this. Find V at distance R. That is our aim to find
Sir,
out.
E is
So
not
to
given,
find
sir.
that, A is given. This is written here. See, this is a given information. This is a given thing here, right? And from here only we have to get V at a distance R. So point is to get this. What are the equations we are having? Those equations also we are having ready-made equations here. We have to use these equations only. We have to use these equations only.
If we find omega, then we can find.
Omega means what? Here there is no omega defined for elliptical orbits. Omega is not defined for elliptical orbits. I think I did this stupid mistake there, writing omega. I myself wrote omega. Omega is not defined for it. For elliptical orbits, this is average omega.
Okay.
Omega is not defined. Why omega is not defined? Reason is it changes from time to time, no? From place to place.
Point to
It
point.
is not constant. It changes place to place.
Yes, sir.
But on an average means if I want to write average omega, that is still defined. Why average omega is defined? Because average omega will be total angle covered in total angular displacement in one complete time period divided by total is 2 pi angular displacement upon total time period. So that can be defined. That can still be defined. But angular velocity at an instant is not defined for elliptical orbits. So it is average. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let us see here now. This thing. So how many things we have to eliminate? Let us see once. What we have to eliminate? We have to eliminate V1. We have to eliminate R1, V2, R2. We have to eliminate these, right? And these only V1, R1, V2, R2. These are unknowns. But R1 plus R2 we know. This equation also we are having. Other than this, we have this equation. R1 plus R2 is equal to A.
2A.
R1.
2S.
R1 plus R2 is equal to 2A. Sorry, R1 plus R2 is equal to 2A. Right. That is known to. That is given to us. So from here we have to get the result. Let us first find out the mechanical energy total in terms of R1, R2 by eliminating V1, V2. How to eliminate V1, V2? Very simple way to eliminate V1, V2. This V1 R
Sir.
R.
Hello.
Sir.
You have muted, sir.
Mhm.
Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Now audible, sir.
V1 R1 is equal to V2 R2 equal to V sin theta into R. I am just eliminating small m because small m can be cancelled. That is not even required in this. Without small m only we will do. Okay. Now we have to eliminate the velocities and we have to get answers in terms of total mechanical energy we have to write down by eliminating velocities. And this thing I can write as L by m. L by m is constant here. Angular momentum by m. And this thing I can write as mechanical energy per unit mass, E by m. That we can write this thing as. So I'm getting V1 R1 as V1 into R1 is equal to L by m. So what is V1? V1 we are getting as L by m into R1. And what is V2? V2 we are getting as L by m into
M1 R2.
m into R2. Now what is total mechanical energy? That we can write E by m we can write as V1 square by 2 minus G into m by R1, which I can write as, what is V1 square by 2? Let us put the value of V1 in terms of L. L square by m into R1 square by 2 minus G into m by R1. That is E by m. We are finding out E by m. Okay. We don't need the second one also. This is enough for us. Next, we can write it as L square by 2m into m R1 square into m R1 square minus G into m by R1. I know that m R1 square can be written as here I am taking both to be moving. No, one only. One only is moving, not both. Then no need to write that. It is okay. M into m square into R1 square only. Next, I can write similarly. I can write E by m in terms of R1, R2 also. That will be getting this is also equal to L square by 2 into m square into R2 square minus Gm by R2. That is also same only. Now, here I will start writing again. Now we can say that E by m will be equal to, I have to, from here I have to use one equation, R1 plus R2 is equal to 2a. I have to use that. In which equation I am having now? See, this last two you follow, these two equations. In this I have to eliminate R1 and R2. That I can eliminate by using equation R1 plus R2 is equal to 2a. I can use that equation to eliminate. Okay. Then I will be getting this L square by 2 into m square R1 square minus L square by 2 into m square into R2 square. I think I should add these two. If I add these last two equations, this one number 2, if I add these two, then I will be getting E by m plus E by m. 2 into E by m. 2 into E by m I will be getting L square by m square into 1 by r1 square plus 1 by
Plus 1 by R2 square
r2 square minus gm into
into
1
R1
by
R1
r1 plus
plus
Sir,
1
m
by R2.
square by 2m square.
2 cancel.
2. No, 2 is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, it is there. This is what we are getting. Next, we can write it as minus g into m upon r1 r2 into r1 plus r2 upon r1 r2 into r1 plus r2. R1 plus r2 is 2a, and this side we are getting l square by 2m square into r1 r2 whole square. Numerator we will be getting r1 square plus r2 square. That is, this is equal to 2e by m. What is r1 square, r1 plus r2 square? We already know that r1 square m r1 square plus m r2 square is equal to mu into
2a square.
r relative square, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I use something like this here? I in terms of r1 plus r2, what is will come out to be mu?
Sir,
I
when
assume
both is
M
moving,
into
sir,
R1
that
plus
is.
R2.
1 into 1 upon 1 plus 1 1 by 2 r square by 2.
Sir,
No, that is only when r1 these are equal. No, these are not equal here, right? Sorry, these are different. This case is different here. Sorry. That is only when r1 and r2 are equal, not like here. So now we have to just write how to get in terms of r1 plus r2 whole square minus r1 r2. If I do, that is not also much helpful. I was thinking of simplifying it, but it is not getting simplified till now. So there was very simple way to do it normally, but I'm not remembering it right now how I used to do it. What was our geometric mean, by the way? That was B, right? If I want to write in that terms, R1, R2 was equal to B. R1, R2 is equal to B, and R1 square plus R2 square is still nothing. That is
Sir, B equal to root R1 R2, sir.
B is equal to root R1, R2. R1, R2 is B square. That is equal to B square. Wait a second, let me go back to this orbit here. It has some potential energy, let us say here, and kinetic energy, and then from here to here, I have to find out. I know the difference of kinetic energies. I know V2 square minus V1 square. That I know. That will come out in terms of the total potential energy difference. And from that, can we do something? R1, R2 minus R1 terms we will be getting, and velocities can be. Wait a second. I think I'm doing something right or wrong here. A is known to us. A is known. Then this distance is R1 and R2. Something. I think I am giving one less data. It seems this information may not be sufficient to determine. I think R is given to us, right? At a distance R. Then it is enough only. Then we can do. But I'm not using that R also. I'm not using that R. If I use R, then I will be getting, I think so.
first we have to get in terms of AMS, like partial.
We have to get the total mechanical energy in terms of
A.
A. And then from there, we can write mechanical energy minus the potential energy. That will be giving us kinetic energy. So in order to get the total mechanical energy at A, I can write it as kinetic energy. Mechanical energy at A will be equal to potential energy at A plus kinetic energy at A, and here potential energy at this place plus kinetic energy at this place. This total is same mechanical energy. which I have already written here. And
Sir,
yes,
E will be given with us, no, sir.
what will be given?
Will they mention eccentricity?
Eccentricity.
Yes, sir.
Eccentricity is required in some cases, but at least it is not required for the. I know how I used to do it. Wait a second. I understood. We are almost there only. We are getting answer, but right. I think I can do it directly by this equation only itself. I don't need any other thing. I started doing it in a completely different wrong way, but okay. I suddenly have recalled. I used to do in this way. What I used to do. This E by M is a constant only. It will not get much trouble for us. It is just a constant only, and I can in fact replace it by here. There are two unknowns, V and R, and here also there are two unknowns, V and R. L is known to us and E is known to us. So there are two equations and two unknowns. So no need to even worry about any other thing. I think I can just get answered by these only. I can write V. What I can write V as? I can write. See, okay, let me do it again. Once again. I can write it as V in sine theta into R. That is equal to L by M, one equation. Another equation is half mv square minus g m small m by R is equal to mechanical energy. If I divide by mass, then it will become mechanical energy per unit mass. This is the equation. These two equations are there. So what is the unknown in these two? First of all, I'm assuming only unknown to be V and R for the time being, although R is given to us. And EA by M is unknown and L by M is unknown, but I'm assuming let V and R be unknown. If V and R are unknown, can I get V and R in terms of E and L? Yes, we can get it easily. How? I have to first use the first equation. If I use the first equation gives us L upon M into R sine theta. That is V. But here also I will do one thing now. If sine theta is 1, then we are having which case? Then V will be either equal to V1 or it will be equal to V2. Means we are having these two cases then. Sine theta will be 1 only in two places. There will be no other place where sine theta will be 1 except first place, this place and that the other place. Then there the velocity possibilities are V1 and V2. There will be two possible velocities in that place, right or not? For sine theta is equal to 1, there will be two possible velocities.
Yes,
is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
All right. That is the main idea. Means I need, now it is like a quadratic for me, and if I solve the quadratic, I will be getting V1 and V2 because there will be two unknowns in that, no? And I will be able to get V1 and V2 by putting sine theta 1. So first of all, I put sine theta 1. After putting sine theta 1, I get value of V in terms of R. That we are getting just V is equal to L upon MR now. If we put sine theta is equal to 1. Okay. Now, means I am assuming that I don't want to find out velocity at any distance, but I want to find only at those distances where sine theta is 1, or I want to find out R in those places where sine theta is 1. So I'm changing my attention from other places to only sine theta equal to 1 case. Then we can write the energy equation will become half of L square by M square into R square minus G into capital M by R is equal to E by M. Right. That we can write as it is quadratic in 1 by R. So if it is quadratic in 1 by R, we definitely have the roots. So L square by 2 into M square, that is some constant here, into 1 by R square minus G into M into 1 by R. See here it is quadratic, is equal to E by M or minus E by M. Let's bring out this side only. Minus E by M is equal to 0. Can you solve this quadratic to get the result of 1 by R? I don't need to solve also, in fact. I need to know 1 by R. Let the roots be R1 and R2. Roots be R1 and R2. R is equal to R1 and R2. So 1 by R has what roots? 1 by R has roots 1 by R1 and 1 by R2. If these are the roots, what is the sum of roots? 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, we know the sum of roots will be always equal to the sum of roots will always
Minus
be
B
equal
by
to
A.
Sir, so
Minus
GM
B
by
by A.
minus
GM by
GM by
minus
L
of
square
minus GM.
Sir, minus of minus.
plus sir. Plus
plus
sir.
little bit L square by 2 M
M
square.
square.
We are getting this. And what is it? In fact, it has significance also. Here, it's so useful for us. Forget the answer, but still we are getting something significant here. What is it? It is equal to 1 by, not 1 by P. I think what was that formula for P? For P, formula was 1 by P was equal to geometric mean it was, right? Harmonic mean.
Harmonic means, sir.
Harmonic mean means I have to write here 2
2
also,
by
right?
P, sir.
2 by
2
P.
by P.
2 by P,
So
sir.
this is coming out to be equal to 2 by P. Means we are, even without solving the equation completely, just by writing this also, we are getting something significant in terms of R1, R2. So for the timing, forget it. I told in the beginning although, but this analysis is becoming much simpler. Assume A not to be there, but R1 and R2 given. If R1 and R2 are given, and let us try to get everything in terms of R1, R2, then automatically A will also be known. By A will be known. If R1 and R2 are given, then A will be equal to R1 plus R2. So let us change our analysis now for some time, and let us see that in terms of R1, R2, can we get other things or not? So yes, we are able to obtain in terms of R1, R2 at least P, and L is a constant, so that is not a trouble for us. L we can obtain if L we can L we can obtain in other way also. See how can we obtain L? Okay, I will come to that also. First of all, this is enough. Next we have L we are obtaining this way actually. Okay, let me tell you now only. I think it will not take much time. This is ellipse. If I know L, then I know everything, right? And L I can write 2 pi by what is the formula for L? Angular momentum is equal to total area, angular momentum by 2m. Angular momentum by 2m is equal to total area swept by time period. Do we know that or not?
Yes, sir, we know that.
We know that.
We know that. We know, we have proved it. Aerial velocity. So aerial velocity, total area of ellipse, I think you may not be knowing, but it is simple actually. It is pi AB. Pi AB by time period is equal to L by 2m. Okay. So we can convert it in terms of time period also. If you want L, we can convert it in terms of time period. This formula, why it is pi AB? How to prove it? This also we can prove easily. If I take a circle,
Area of ellipse, sir.
Sir, give us pi s square.
I think you know already area of ellipse. If you know already area of ellipse, then it is okay. If you don't know area of ellipse, we can prove it by taking this circle and stretching the circle. Then we will be getting area of ellipse as pi AB. So once we know area of ellipse is pi AB upon time period, that will be equal to L by 2m. So I'm using here term L by m. So L by m is actually equal to 2 pi AB by time period. We can replace it in terms of time period also. We are using L by m. That is actually, that can be coming in terms of time period. So no problem. Let us for the timing assume these are just constants and we can determine these easily. We are getting P here.
Sir, 2
What
pi
about
by
the,
t.
yes,
2 pi by t means average omega. We can take.
2 pi by t is average omega. Yes, that is average omega. Correct. That is also, yes, means we can write it in this way also. Where is it? Let me go back again. You are right. 2 pi by t I can write as average omega.
T is equal
As
to
average omega into A into B, that is equal to L by m. So means we can write in that terms also if you want. It is average omega into L into B. So all these wonderful things are coming quickly. Now, next, we can write 1 by R1 into 1 by R2. What is 1 by R1 into 1 by R2? Product of the roots. Without even solving the equation, see, we are getting the analysis easily. Without even solving it. 1 by R1 into 1 by R2, that is equal to, formula
minus
for that,
2e by 2em.
minus
Minus
2
2em by L square, sir. 2em.
M by L square. Correct only. That it will be. Because the formula is product is equal to C by A.
Yes.
So here C is this and this is A, C by A, and the sum was equal to minus B by A. So yes, right. So sum is equal to minus B by A and product, as we know, is equal to C by A. Correct. So we are getting this thing is equal to what? Now, if I want to write it, I can write 1 by R1, R2 as 1
B
by
directly, so you can get.
B square. We are getting B from here. B we are getting from here. And so what is B coming out to be? B is coming out to be in terms of L. It is coming out to be L square by, no, it should not be negative. Something is wrong here.
I think it's wrong.
What is wrong here? Let me check. I was not expecting it to be negative. It should be positive only. L square by M square into R square minus 1 by C. I think formula is wrong. Minus C by A it will be, or C by A.
C by A only, sir.
C by A only, sir.
C by A only. Oh, no, it is right only. Correct only. E is itself negative. A mechanical energy is negative. So negative into negative will give us positive number only. So it is correct. No problem in that. Then it is correct only. Nothing is wrong. I was thinking, how can we get square as negative? But it is not negative actually. So B square we are getting as L square divided by 2 into E into M, and minus is there, no problem in that. That should be there only. That is B square. So we are getting B also from here. That is equal to this thing. That is B. Okay. So in terms of, means we can, why this analysis is useful for us. If we know B in terms of our fundamental constants, and if we know P, etc., and A, etc., in terms of fundamental constants, then we can write the equation of ellipse also in terms of L and E. If somebody is giving you L is given and E is given, find out the equation of ellipse. We can get the equation of ellipse in those terms, in terms of mass and in terms of L and E. Okay, right. Next we have those. So this is done. Okay, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Now one more thing here. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, R1, R2. We can write it in that way. And we know what is R1, R2 also, and we know what is R1 plus R2. R1 plus R2 is 2A, and R1,
2A by B square.
R1, R2 we know.
2A by
R1,
B
R2
square.
So we can write 2A by B square is equal to,
Length of
what was 1 by
lattice.
R1 plus 1 by R2? That was equal to 2GM M square by L square. We are not even solving this, but we are still reaching the conclusion which we wanted to reach. Here we will be reaching it soon. So we are getting 2G, 2 to cancel, right? Both sides. 2 to cancel, and we wanted to write here B also we know. B also I will bring one side only. 2M M square by L square into B square is equal to 2A. No, wait a second. I think not that. In fact, take everything one side and take L. Okay, correct. It is okay. I'm following that. That is equal to 2A. What we are getting now? Put the value of B from there again, and then see what do we get.
G M capital M into small m.
Put the value of B. G 2G capital M small m square upon L square, B square.
L square cancel.
L square cancelled upon 2 into E into M with minus sign. Minus is equal to 2A. So L square cancelled, and 2 cancelled with the 1, 2 here. Then we are left with only E and M. 1 M is cancelled. Then we are left with just E. What is E coming out to be? See how beautifully, without solving the equation, we are getting all the things. E is coming out to be equal to minus G capital M into small m by 2A, as we were expecting it to be. We were expecting this only or not?
Yes, sir.
We were expecting it to be this. So we are able to prove it without even solving the equation. But once we started with our this quadratic we are using, and by this quadratic only. And how we got this quadratic? This quadratic we are getting by putting sine theta as 1. First I took any general place where V sine theta into R will be equal to L by M, and then I took kinetic energy equation, mechanical energy equation, this. So we are using 2 equations: conservation of angular momentum, conservation of mechanical energy. But for which condition? For the cases when sine theta is 1. Why we are using those cases? So that I can get some relation in terms of V1 and V2 I can get, and R1 and R2 I can get in terms of those. So mainly my target was to obtain total mechanical energy, and that we are able to get by this way. Anyway, next is L. Can we get L also? I think we can get L also now. How can we get L? E we are getting this. L, let me check. E we are knowing here now. E we know. Still L is not obtainable or obtainable. Let me see once. In terms of R1, R2, we know L, but I think for L we need eccentricity also, it seems. Huh? Or can we do without eccentricity?
Eccentricity is required because of it being in terms of B.
For L we need that, I think. Okay. No, let me guess whether we need or not. I know already that L is equal to 2 pi by, sorry, what was that? L by 2M.
Oh,
I know L by 2M. L by 2M is equal to total area divided by time period. Okay. So that comes out to be equal to pi AB divided by time period we know is equal to 2 pi by omega, average omega into AB. What was average omega that I told you already? Average omega into, it is coming out to average omega into AB.
AB.
What is average omega? That is aerial velocity.
Root
Average
of-
omega, I told you that was equal to root of
Root of
by
G
R2
M1 plus
G
M2 by R. EX.
m plus m by, here small m is negligible. In this case, it is not that. In this case, it is just gm divided by a cube into ab. That I told you. So it will come out to be equal to gm upon a square. A square inside, no, it will remain a then. It will remain a. It will remain a, and then it will become here b square under the root. That is it at last, L by 2m. So finally, B is equal to R1 R2 and A is equal to R1 plus R2.
B square by A we know.
That is equal to P, I think. B square by A was P or what?
It is P no
B
sir. This is
That was P only, 2P. No, 2 by, wait a second, B square by A. That was 2 by P. B square by A was 2 by P.
Yes, sir. 2 by AP.
2 by P it is. So that is it.
Yes, sir.
We are writing in this term. And we can write in many ways. We can write in terms of P, in
Sir,
terms of A,
P,
in terms
B
of all
square
those
by
things
A,
we can
sir.
write. P is equal to
B square
B
by
square by
A.
A.
P square by A.
Then root of
Just P
2gm
only.
into P.
2P or just P only?
One scope, sir.
P only. It is
Here it is.
2A
R1
by
upon
B
R1
square
plus
is equals to 2 by P.
2 by P is equals to 1 by B square, sir. P is equals to.
Yes, sir.
2 by P was equal to,
1 by B.
I have written R1 plus R2 upon R1 R2. That is equal to 2A by, okay, it is 2A by B square. So 2 cancels, right? Correct only.
Yes, sir.
Then it is just
Only B
2
square
gm
by A.
into P. 2 gm into P. That is it. That is equal to L by 2m. That is it. Anyway, mainly we are able to get mechanical energy. That was useful for us. Angular momentum we can get in terms of, by this method, we can get angular momentum, area covered, divide by, but how do we know time period is this? Actually, this is not a right way actually. Because time period I am assuming to be known already. In case of, I know the time period for which case? I know the time period for circular orbits, but I don't know whether it is same for elliptical orbit or not. In fact, time period I have to prove. So let us do that. Let us try to find out L also. I will try to find out L in terms of P. If I am able to find L in terms of P, then I will assume that time period will be obtained from there only. Let us try to find out L in terms of P. We are getting already L in terms of P here itself. L in terms of B we are getting. This equation we can assume to be known, L is known in this equation, right? Here also, see, if I use upper equation here, then in this equation I can find out L in terms of P. Can we find or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then we know, then we can
find
say
out.
that, then we know already L, and from there we will prove in fact time periods. What is L coming out to be in terms of P? L is coming out to be
2m into root over 2g GMPs.
L square is equal to 2gm
2m
into small m square upon into P upon 2 to cancel, and root of this will become g into m square into P, that is L. That only we are getting.
Yes, sir. Same, sir.
So it is 2 into g into, what was it? 2 into g into capital M, 2 into g into capital M into small m into
Small
P.
m square into P, sir.
small m square into P.
Under the root.
That is what we are getting, right? Now I wanted to prove from here that what is the time period, and we know time period is aerial velocity is time period L by 2m, and area is pi AB. Pi AB by time period is equal to L by 2m, which will be equal to root 2 GMP, which is equal to 2 GMP again. So I can write time period is equal to pi AB divided by root of 2 GMP. That we are getting. Is it right
Yes,
or not?
sir.
Right only. What I can write it as 2 pi by omega multiply by 2 pi, and then we get it as and convert of a only now. I can write p is equal to b square by a. If I do that, then I get
Then BB gets cancelled, sir.
then pi a upon
A will be
root
square. Pi A square by root of 2
2gm,
GM.
and what we are left with
2GM.
here,
Yes, sir. That's it.
that's it, into root a.
No, sir. A square. Okay, root A. Yes, sir.
Root a. Then we are getting pi into root of a cube divided by 2gm, I think,
Yes, sir.
that we are getting. But that was not the answer. Answer was something else. 2gm by pi. 1 2 term is missing.
Sir, initially only we missed 2, sir.
Yes,
Where I
sir.
missed
Initially 2 pi.
Sir,
No,
here
sir.
L,
One put on.
sir,
2
here
pi
L
AB
is
by.
equals to, no, sir, it is not. It 2 will not be.
In only time term, sir. In term.
In terms of time,
T is equals to. Yes, sir.
t is equal to
There it is
Pi.
right only, sir.
right only.
Yes, sir.
Then L is wrong, it seems. What is that? Let me go back again to L.
In P equation
There.
we substituted, sir.
Where was L found? L was found.
2 by P is equals to.
Sir, L is not, L is a 2 root of GM.
Sir, 2 by P is equals to 2 GMM square by L. That is correct only, sir.
That is correct.
From
Now.
there we can find L.
Then L we are getting as
2 will be cancelled
2.
out under root over GM M square into P.
yes, it is 2
Yeah,
root
yeah,
of
square.
Sir,
GM.
then, sir, before we got L by 2M is equals to A by 10.
2
Sir.
I have taken wrong.
There 2 will not be there. Yes, sir. That's
This is wrong. And then when I divide by 2, then it will become by
2.
by 2.
yes, sir.
Sorry, it was wrong here. Then it is by 2 here outside. By 2. Then it is again
2 pi AB by 2 pi AB will come,
becoming,
sir.
then
Then
time is
numerator
coming
2
2
pi.
pi
Yes,
AB.
sir.
Then it is correct.
Denominator there.
Then now it is correct. Exactly correct.
Okay, sir. Now we are
That is what we
getting correct.
expected to be found. Now we are getting 100% correct.
I think before
2 pi
also we
AB.
got
So
the
see,
same. Sir.
the time period for elliptical orbit also. For elliptical also time period is same.
Same, sir.
But
Yes,
we found for
sir.
which elliptical orbits? We found for those elliptical orbits in which one mass is at rest and other mass is moving. I think now if we have done so up to so far,
Moving
then I
around.
think that also we can achieve. What we wanted to achieve now, if there are two, we don't need to do that now. Now we can just generally, we know it will always be valid. Same way we can prove for the other cases also. What is left to be approved now? If I have two masses, then I will be writing like this: half of m1 into v1 square plus half of m2 into v2 square minus g m1 m2 divided by r. That will be the kinetic energy equation in that case. And these two terms I will replace as half into mu into v relative square, half into mu into v relative square minus g m1 m2 by r. That I can write is equal to this also I can write as m1 m2 I can write as mu into m1 plus m2. Can we write it as mu into m1 plus m2 or not?
Yes, sir.
That is equal to E by M. That is equal to E by M. So I think you know that for the two masses, when there are two masses and both are comparable, then also we are getting the similar type of equation. But effectively, one mass is becoming M1 plus M2 and other mass is becoming mu. And this is equal to totally. This is equal to totally. And I can now do one thing. I can divide by mu. If I divide by mu,
Yes,
then
sir.
I will be
M1
getting
M2 by M1 plus M2.
same equation as before, v square by 2 minus g into m1 plus m2 divided by r is equal to E by mu. So are we getting the same equation or not? And again, this is for kinetic energy. What about angular momentum? For angular momentum, we were having mu into m1 into r1, m1 into v1 into r1, m1 into v1 into r1 plus m2 into v2 into r2 is equal to total angular momentum, which will become mu into v relative. Mu into v relative into r1 plus r2. Mu into v relative into r1 plus r2 is equal to L. That will become mu into v into r is equal to L. So v will become equal to L upon I wanted to write, last time I wrote V, yes, that only, mu r. Same thing as before, last time, as we proceeded last time. Same thing, L square upon 2 into mu into r. Means you understand now. I think you have got that thing here now, what will happen. Again, we will get one quadratic in 1 by r. And if we get that quadratic in 1 by r, then again, same way, without solving the quadratic, we did not solve the quadratic last time. Without solving the quadratic, we end up getting all the things which we want. Understood or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Right. So with that only we will get everything we will be getting by the same old analysis. We will be getting everything is obtainable in the same fashion as we did last time. Let me check those equations, which equations we were getting.
Sir,
Last time.
better be making
Time is
it
up.
fast.
Only one thing here I have to do in the next. I may not be able to put 1 by 2 p, or that p may not be multiple orbits when I am writing 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2. That may not be becoming equal to 2 by p. It may be something else, but we can just treat it some constant. Rectum, you can just think it is some constant only. It is some constant p, and similarly we can write b as r1 r2, and then we can proceed in the same way, and we will still get the same result only. Although here p means something. In that case, p may not mean anything. In that case, p may not mean anything because these are two different orbits, and p may not be what we call p. In that case, that will not be properly meaning anything. But still, we will be getting this same result. And here a will be meaning a1 plus a2. Understood?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir, understood.
Time.
So we have done in much more detail. That much was also not required also, but it will be helpful for you. And in some places, if we know, especially if you know the total mechanical energy formula, that is so helpful, so convenient. Minus gm1 m2 by 2a, and quickly you start using it. And similarly, write the total formula for L also. What is the total formula for L? I don't recommend you to remember the L formula. I recommend you to remember the formula for mechanical energy as gm1 m2 by 2a minus, that you remember. And also remember this kinetic energy is equal to
U by 2.
u by 2
Sir.
minus u by 2, and mechanical
U by
energy is
2.
equal to u by 2. If you remember this,
We can get
then
all
from there
from
only
it.
we can get,
Yes,
right?
sir.
From there only we can get all. But this is valid only for circular orbits.
Orbital.
For circular orbits, not for elliptical, because for elliptical orbit I cannot say like that. No, u will be varying. In elliptical orbit it is minus gmm by r. So what should I call r as? It is varying continuously. There r has to be replaced by a. Anyway, once we have done this, angular momentum, I tell you to remember this formula for angular momentum. L by 2m is equal to total aerial speed by time period. That you remember. That one you remember. That will be easier way to remember the angular momentum formula. And time period, we know time period will be equal to 2 pi
2 pi into root over a cube by g of m1
a cube by
into root over
g into
yes.
m. M is
G
net
into
m,
m, sir.
means that is m1 plus m2. This we can
M1 plus M2.
because everybody remembers the time period formula probably. So therefore, and area is easy, pi ab. So using this, we can start doing this, and we can get the answer, right?
Okay.
Okay, then let us end it here. Of escape velocity. Remind
Yes,
me.
sir. Chemistry class is also going to start.
Okay, then tomorrow escape velocity, right?
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
then bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.